new year means new excuses to go through all our books. I kind of have a book buying problem, and one of those problems is buying a whole series before I even read the first one. So I have a lot of books on my shelves that I know I'm never gonna get to, but I have them anyways. So one of my goals this year is to try to minimize a little bit. Only have the books I know I'm gonna read or books I absolutely loved on my shelves. And even if some of these I didn't absolutely love, it's the ones that I want to keep. So hi, my name is Kate, and in today's video I'm going to be unhauling a bunch of books, hopefully. My goal is to get rid of at least 10 books. What am I going to do with these books? I don't know. For now I'm just taking them off my shelves. So hopefully this is an enjoyable video, and hopefully we learn some things from this. So I've realized it's 9 o'clock at night, and you might be wondering, why don't I just wait to do this in the morning? But nobody has time for that, okay? When I have my mind set to something, I need to do it immediately. So first, we're gonna start with decluttering my TBR cart. Most of these books I probably won't be getting rid of, but some of these we'll see about. We're gonna start with this front side, top row. Hopefully it's focused. These are all my hardback books, well, most of my hardback books. We have some general fiction, like romance, fantasy going on up here. I had them more organized earlier in the year, but they're not like that anymore. So pretty much all these books I want to read. Like pretty much all these I'm very excited to read, and especially all these general fiction ones. So none of these will be leaving the cart. Then this next row we have fantasy, and these are all ones I also want to read. I think I'm gonna unhaul these two. I know both of these are very much liked, but they just don't really, the synopsis doesn't really interest me. I mean, they do interest me, that's why like I originally got them, but like the formatting, like I don't like third person point of view. I also don't want to be starting any new series, and I'm also just not really into like the cozy fantasy, or like I really like romantasy is what I really love, and these are that, but they're not like the type I like, so not for me. The bottom row on this cart, I'm not even going to show you the front side of it because I want to read every single one of those books. It's all my romance books. And here I have the next 4 Tom I need to read, and then 2 big fantasy books, and then a Just a Hastings book, and I definitely want to read all of these. All of these I'm going to keep. These are all my like ACOTAR I need to read, and the Remnant Chronicles, so I'm keeping those. Section really confuses me, a lot of these, because a lot of these I do want to read, but a lot of them I don't. These are just like my very lowest of the priority as far as like this over. These I all want to read, like all those I want to read a lot, and those 2 are like my few thrillers, so I do want to read those. But like these I'm very conflicted over. I hated the first book in this series, but I still asked for these 2, so I don't know, maybe. And I know I don't want to read this. I know I don't want to read this, and then I don't know. So I've decided that I'm going to get rid of this whole stack because these 2 series, the first books, I did not like. This one, the first book, I was really excited when this one came out, but the first one like doesn't interest me anymore, so I'm getting rid of this one. But I'm going to keep the first one just because it's like you don't necessarily have to read the second one. And then I hated the first book in this series, so I'm getting rid of this one. This, I don't really like hockey romance that much, and I honestly don't know if I ever am going to start this whole like universe, so for now I'm going to get rid of that. Because I know they have box sets, so one day if I feel the weird need to read that series, I will. And then this one, I really just did not, I had enjoyed like some part of this, but then at the end I really just did not like, sorry, my dog just knocked my tripod. I just did not like this one in the end. And so one of the big things about the series, that this book I didn't like, was the author's writing. So I know there's really no reason for me to go on with the series, so we're gonna part ways with those. The next books I'm gonna be talking to you about are all soft DNFs. I've talked many times about these specific books, and I just think it's time for me to part ways with them because I'm just never gonna read them, and that's the truth. I'm not gonna get rid of all my soft DNFs because there are some that I like maybe for like aesthetic purposes. If I never read it, like I want to have it, because one of them is Twilight, and I love the movies with like my whole chest and heart. So I would just want to keep the book anyway, even if I don't ever get through it. And some of the other ones, I know maybe one day I could like them, or like one day I'll finish it. But these I'm just like, it's never gonna happen. And first is Wildfire. This is the second book, in the like whole Maple Hill series, and I absolutely hated Icebreaker like so much. It's just insta love, and that's my least favorite trope of all time, and like one night stand, and I hate that trope so much. Both tropes I hate because I'm a slow burn like love, and this is the one night stand trope, so I just like was not about that. And so I said I was gonna read this book before I could get to Daydream because I really like one of the characters, but I just like, is it worth it? Is it worth it when I could be reading like tons of other books I actually enjoy? So I think it's just time to part ways with that whole series as a whole. And then this next book is a thriller, and I'm just not a thriller person. This one I got very short of the way through, and I just could not get into it. So this one is definitely gonna go. The next one is Red Queen, and this is gonna be kind of controversial because a lot of people know that Powerless is one of my favorite series, and everyone says that Powerless copies this series, but my point is, if I can read the whole Powerless series and fall in love with it, but I can't even get through this book, then maybe they're not the same. I don't know, I just was not feeling this book. I tried to get through it. I might not get rid of that one just for I can say I've read it, but I don't know, it's just not my vibe anymore. And then this one, Twin Crowns, this one was just too YA for me. I did not connect to it, and it's really not my vibe. And I have the first and second book in the series, so I'm gonna get rid of both of them. So here are the last books I'm going to be unhauling. I have the other Twin Crown series book. This might be really petty of me, but I hate that one's matte and one's glossy. It's not the vibe. And then I have the rest of the, what's it called, Maple Hill series. I don't know, the covers are cute, but I'm never gonna read them. I did not like Icebreaker. So these are 3 Colleen Hoover books that I never got around to reading in my, like, this is what got me into reading. Like, that's everyone on Book Talk story, is Colleen Hoover got me into reading. But this author did kind of get me into reading. But I know she has like a lot of controversy now, and like this writing style, her writing style was like good for me when I was younger, but like now that I'm older, it just doesn't do anything for me. And so I have no reason to keep the books of hers that I haven't read. The ones I have read, I am keeping just for, you know, library purposes. But as far as like the ones I haven't read, I don't really care to keep. So let's count how many books we are officially unhauling. I've definitely passed my goal of books I'm unhauling. My goal was like at least 10, and I'm unhauling 20. So I'm very proud of myself because I knew deep in my heart, I was like, I'm never gonna read these, or at least not anytime soon. And because I'm a full-time student, I just want to be reading books that I love and that are for my enjoyment, because that's what I read for. And so all these books just don't check any of those boxes for me. And so I'm really glad that I'm finally pulling this plug and trying to get rid of these, because I just don't need them taking up any shelf space. Plus, you know what they say, out with the old, in with the new. So maybe we can convince myself that I can go book shopping soon, because, you know. And so in total we got rid of 4 whole series. So that's really good. And this is, most of these I had the whole series of. So this is a good sign to me to not buy the whole series before reading the first one. So yeah, now I'm gonna give you a rundown of every single book I've put on my unhaul pile. We have Assistant to the Villain. Then we have V. Schwab, Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Next we had If Only I Had Told Her, which is the sequel to If He Had Been With Me. Next we have the Cruel Prince trilogy in its entire whole. We have The Deal, which is the first book in the Off-Campus series. This one I may be getting to one day, but just not anytime soon. Our only thriller, which is The Guest List. Next we have the Maple Hill series, again in its entirety. Then we have the first 2 books in this series, which I think is called the Twin Crown series. I'm not really sure, but we have the first 2 books to get rid of. 3 books by Colleen Hoover: Confess, All Your Perfects, and Hopeless. Lastly, we have the entire Ruinous Love trilogy. I really love the covers of these books. I've said that before, I love these covers so much. But these books are just not going to be for me. So that is every single book I'm unhauling to declutter for the new year. I'm so glad you made it this far in the video, and if you enjoyed this video, let me know. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.